Agribusiness Today on WAND is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet.
We're in Bloomington at the Farm Bureau's viewing of the documentary film Farmland, and with me is Geno Reynolds, who is the movie critic for WAND TV. And I want you to come with us because you will look at this film objectively and tell me whether or not it works. I'm pretty close to the subject matter of farming. I like the film, but what were you expecting when you came up to look at this?
Well, Dave, thanks for having me. I was expecting, and maybe not expecting, but I thought maybe it was going to preach to the choir. I was afraid that they weren't going to talk to the layman, they weren't going to preach to the masses. But I'm happy to say that this movie actually did a very good job at speaking to the layman and speaking to those that don't understand farming like myself. I've had a little farming experience, but not like you. And it did a very good job at showing what goes behind a farm, the families behind a farm, that it's not just this big industry, that there are actually real people behind this and they deal with real things and have real problems. And I thought it did a very good job at portraying that.
This film was produced by Academy Award winner director James Mole, and he directed this movie. Technically, as you looked at this, did it work? Did you think it flowed well and told the story?
For the most part, it did. Now, I will say it didn't need to be any longer. It was definitely the right length. If they would have crammed more families in, it might have had a problem, but they covered 6 families. That was more than enough. They did a great job. And I also liked that it looked good, it sounded good. They showed a lot of great imagery, and some brought back memories of working at DeKalb Poultry, and so those are some funny stories. But so a little bit of nightmare for me. But for the most part, I thought it did a very good job.
There was a segment in there that got very emotional, and it took me by surprise. I mean, it was hard to hold a tear back because I could relate to these families. Did that emotional part of the film, did it touch you? Did you think that worked?
Very much so. They definitely got you to know these families, and they didn't just show you, oh, we're just farmers. They showed you we're real people and we have real issues, and this is a family thing, and it's about the future generation and everything else. They did a very good job.
Was there one takeaway from this film, and ultimately did it work for you?
Yeah, it definitely worked for me. For those that would want to know about this stuff, I wouldn't say you must run out and see it, but if you're interested in this, or if you need to know about farming or interested in what is behind farming, this is a very good film to watch.
Farmland, it's all about agriculture, learning and understanding and changing some misperceptions. Take a look at it if you get the opportunity. This is Agribusiness Today, brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and by John Deere. Thanks, Geno.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
David Brown.
Agribusiness Today is sponsored by your local John Deere dealers. It's deer season.